The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And not so rusty. I thought maybe we'd miss that one today, but it came through. So what do we have? Well, after a day on light volume up on Friday and a half day, of course, we're out here on the S&P with no change, actually a 0.01, not percent, literally a 1 cent change on the S&P at 2602.45. A lot of hurry up and wait. Going to be holding our breath this week as we wait for Congress, actually the Senate, to do something, anything, to show that there is a sign of life in what, for the most part, is a organization that has a cranial rectal inversion, if you know what I mean. So in the meantime, we're going to look at a lot of other things. But as I said before we went to vacation last week, I don't expect a lot of higher prices in the S&P and in the NASDAQ. I do expect slightly higher and individual stocks having much higher and much lower moves. But it is going to be the stock pickers market, I believe, between now and the end of the year. Starting to see some signs of at least some ridiculous stock bubbles popping. We'll take a look at a couple of those that were brought up last week. What else can you talk about? A lot of little things, but we'll get to them throughout the show. But again, going to be kind of a quiet week until we get some clarification. A lot of holding our breaths. Probably on the upside, we're going to see single-digit moves in the S&P higher. I think maybe we closed a couple points higher just today, and maybe another point or two higher the next day. And then eventually when we get something, then it will be some clarification on the Senate. Then it will probably be a lot up for about a day, and then we'll be back to single digits again. So look at commodities, look at individual equities, but I think that's going to be the action for the rest of the year. We do have Ron in Denver. We're going to go to him right now. How you doing today, Ron? Well, you're breathing.
Hi there, David.
Hi.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, hear you fine now.
Okay. I talked to you last week about this company called Resonant. They make these filters, and you mentioned to call you back Monday. You were going to take a look at it. You make these filters for for phones as well as for radios.
And we were talking about this level. Yeah, we were talking about this level where this gap down occurred back on what is this? April 6th of 2015. This thing came down with 1.7 million shares. You basically hit that, and as I said, something like 670 looked like that would be where resistance is on a longer-term basis. If you can get through that, then basically you don't have a gap to $13. So what's your question today?
I was just wondering, they brought out this new, I guess, a new filter that somebody has really bought into, and I don't know if others will buy into it. And if they do, it could give it a big boost.
Yep. Well, you had a good day Friday. You got basically everything you should get in a trade. If you're looking at this as an investment, then we need to move on. But if you can fill half a gap That's normally where I want to start pulling the trigger short and or taking cash if I am long. So you pretty much got that on the open today. Maybe a little bit more you pulled back. So what are you at here? 625. So you got pretty much what I'd look for in a trade. You may get just a little bit more, but you're not down on a lot of volume. You basically matched the volume you had on the half-day Friday. The question is just what do you want to risk? And at this point, your trade was over, or at least for me would have been over for halfway through that gap down, because that's normally where you find resistance.
Okay.
And now the thing is, if you've been able to look at this company a little bit more and found out a little bit more about its RF filter and whether or not this thing can go up against Qualcomm's patents and, of course, its products itself and Avago. So you got several companies out here.
And the possibility one of those companies might like their technology and buy them out.
Yeah, the problem is that unless you get the part and you check it out yourself, it's kind of hard to tell.
Sure.
In the design process, what will happen would be typically is, let's say I'm designing something, would be, okay, I want a handful of those parts, like 5 of them. I'd give them to a junior engineer, and he would go through there and try different things on them, putting too much power in, putting too little power in, finding just how tricky these parts were to use, and if there's any gotchas. And then the junior engineer would say, okay, part looks pretty good. It pretty much matches its spec sheet. Here's the things that work. Here are the things that don't work, as you might think that they would. And then, you have a senior engineer putting all those things together. So without a junior engineer tearing this thing apart, kind of hard to know exactly where that's going to be.
Or if they get a good order from a large phone company manufacturer.
Right. So the question
that'd be confirmation.
The question is, you pretty much got everything you would want in a trade. Do you want to turn this into an investment?
Yeah.
And
I appreciate your information. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks. Everything looks good here. I don't know, going into the end of the year, you've got kind of a breakout. You've got some decent volume. Can you expect a whole lot? I don't know. As long as the market doesn't turn south, I think I'd have to sit on my hands a little bit and see how this thing hits. But to me, the trade was over halfway into this gap. So hopefully he got what he wanted. I did look at the news on this, and it's kind of hard to actually figure out what works. But the devil in these parts is always in the details. And like I said, when you get one of these parts, people have to kind of take them out. So now what you're looking for this thing to move higher is sales numbers, and keep an eye on it. I like it, though. You got exactly what you were looking for in a trade here. So we'll see what happens after that. Be back in
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
As we do like to do, we start the show off with a little history, albeit delayed.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1923, for 3,000 years, some thought that they could change lead into gold. Today, in 1923, Japanese physicist Mr. Nagato turned mercury into gold. It was radioactive and unstable and turned back to mercury in a couple of days. Bismuth is a lot easier to turn into gold. Lead, just about impossible. All of them, of course, I think there's 7 different isotopes of gold, and the thought's always been that you could take some other metal and transmute it into gold. But this was the first one. A guy actually had mercury in a lamp and got it as hot as possible and did, he said, change mercury into gold. It's actually possible. No one's actually been able to duplicate it. A lot of people have duplicated the bismuth, turning it into gold. Before you get too excited again, many of those isotopes are radioactive, so probably not a lot of use for gold that's radioactive. And of course, a lot of them are fairly unstable and turn back into mercury. About, I think, 2 of the isotopes are not radioactive and will not turn back into mercury. But with the amount that they have been able to do in the 80s and 90s of turning bismuth into gold, would suggest that somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 an ounce is what it would cost. I guess eventually one day, maybe it would be a competitor to actual gold and keeping a lid on it. A lot of bismuth around, not so much gold. But I think for a while, if we're trading around $1,300 an ounce, you got what, 48,700 to go before Bismuth is on a par. Now, maybe they could get that down one day. Maybe let's say that they figured out ways to industrialize it and get it down to $25,000 or $20,000. Still gives you a lot of room to make, well, not lead, but bismuth out of gold. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post a message in the den as everybody's getting back to action after a well-deserved rest is what I wanted to say. So we'll get back into some charts. Give me a call today. I'm just getting warmed up here, getting back in the saddle. So give me a ring and ask me something. Okay, so let's get back to the charts. What do we have? Okay, I wanted to look at a few things. Last week, was it somebody that called us? I don't think so. Maybe it was Tom. Someone called. A lot of people talking about these big runs on the Bitcoin, and other blockchain stocks. Of course, I think this was the one that had like $200,000 worth of business, but trades at a massive multiple cap. A lot of people thinking that maybe we've seen kind of the top in these come back off. You certainly had some big gaps. I would like to see one more gap up in this, though. You've got two, one at about $12, and of course one that kind of got filled today, but maybe half filled on that candle. But again, you got to watch out for these things. Very iffy stocks. Don't know about this one specifically, but I've been very nervous about these for a great deal. And of course, Bitcoin just going to the moon and back. The question is, when does the music stop on those? A lot of articles today on what we've talked about here for years, which are bubbles. And I think you can probably put Bitcoin in the bubble category a long time in the rearview mirror. But we'll look at that. Anyway, one of the bigger ones out here moving. Not a lot of organic movement in the markets itself. As we said, the S&P pretty much flat. Dow's off 22. NASDAQ's off 10. Most of these movements have been caused by upgrades and downgrades. So I don't know how long these things are going to actually act, but in a fairly light volume market, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And I have a suspicion that a lot of these things seem awful convenient for many of the people on Wall Street. Dave & Buster's getting a downgrade, moving with some volume today. If you compare it to last week, a lot of these things were just kind of weak and left to their own devices probably would have gone sideways. My guess is that we probably saw some shorting on Wednesday and Friday. It got a little doji on this one on Friday. And it's just maybe they knew that downgrade was coming. Does anybody think that anything like that could happen? You never know. Same thing with Square. Now, this one's the most dubious out here. Like, no one knew that Bitcoin went from $5,000 to $8,000. But now that it goes to $9,000, you have to be worried about whether Square can actually process payments. Well, that's the story out here, and I'm not sure whether or not a lot of people just got short this on Wall Street and decided to come out with some convenient fake news on the day. But that's basically what you have, and a lot of people shorting this thing. I was watching the ticker this morning. A lot of people hopping on this thing, so I would not be surprised support comes in at about $40 to $38. So looking for that to come in a way. A little less affected today is Buffalo Wild Wings, same kind of thing. People not watching sports, so a convenient downgrade. But, this thing was down a couple bucks more earlier. To the BWLD. I guess I spelled it wrong, so not expecting BWLD. Like I said, it was down a couple bucks more. any of these stocks with huge gaps like Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm expecting one more gap probably before the end of the year. So I would look for this thing back at 137 if volume's light. And even today, not a lot of reaction to this downgrade, so not a lot of people bugging them about it. Regeneron, also REGN, on the downside, back 2.6%. This one's just breaking low after low after low. This thing did go sideways. Didn't look all that bad as volume decreased last week. But again, the mighty pin out there saying that the stock would go lower. A little self-fulfilling prophecy on Regeneron. On the upside, some buyout news. MDP, which is Meredith Corporation. Nice pop out here, huge volume, and again, a buyout, so probably not the start of anything new. Just the end of this, and of course, probably a lot of people knew about this coming in that big gap when this was rumored back on the 16th of November. You're probably looking pretty close to what this thing is going to go out as on the buyout. Be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Yeah, Barracuda Networks going private. big buyout offer, 27.67 is the high today. Again, I'm not expecting a great deal more or any other competing buyouts. But when you're looking at some of these computer security stocks, like Barracuda Networks and CyberArk, these things have kind of gotten off the lows, but not seeing a lot in CyberArk today. And of course, then we've got the others also ran. Take a quick look at PANW. PANW? Yeah, PANW. Palo Alto, it's kind of sideways. A lot of stuff going on with all the CIA tools being leaked on WikiLeaks, 10 days ago. Starting to see a great deal of activity in computer hacking again. And of course, there's nothing like hiring the smartest people in the world to write your tools and then leaking all that code. It's going to be a tough 3-6 months, I suspect, in the future. And if anything can get security stocks going, it's probably going to be that leak of the CIA tools from WikiLeaks. So just make sure that you've got everything updated on your machine, and also keep an eye out for things like that. And let's take a quick look at FireEye. FireEye a little sideways out here. This one may be making a low fairly soon. But you did have a fairly decent opportunity to buy Barracuda in that it tested a 1.8 million share low on October 13 with a 300,000 share low on November 15th. I almost bought on this thing. It had almost everything I liked. And unfortunately, it was kind of the worst of the bunch. But the worst of the bunch actually got the biggest bounce of them all. But, once you get one of these things moving, a lot of times you get the other ones. So keep a close eye on those other ones that may give a good buy signal like Barracuda Networks did. Other stocks that qualify for the loser horn, probably the one on the downgrade that did the worst and gets the loser horn is Western Digital. It's gotten a little bit better. It got down to about $85 today. But talk about a giant gap, the first of what I suspect will be many over the next few years. Some of the downgrades had to do with the price of memory over the last week or 2 weeks, especially from Taiwan. And I don't know how much I actually believe anything coming on a Monday after a light volume day on Friday. But I'll keep an eye on all these, and maybe we'll talk about them again on Wednesday or Thursday. But again, kind of some self-fulfilling prophecies in a fairly narrow market for the market actually moving the semis today. So let's take a quick look at that. The semis, the SMHs, you're still on this trend line. You really haven't broke it, but this is a gap. Volume kind of what it was in the last week. Again, you're probably looking for some significant close below the 3x3. You're right on it now. So keep an eye on this, whether it deteriorates into the close and or bounces, but kind of to stay in this up channel, you're probably fairly close to the breaking point now. And you want to keep a close eye on it. I just don't think there's a lot of opportunity to go selling this thing in the last, 22, 23 trading days of the year. I'll have to go back and look at the calendar, but I think that's probably fairly close to what we're doing. Anyway, give me a call at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post a message in the den, which seems rather quiet. I'm wondering if we have all our traders back and in the saddle again. Okay, let's take a look at some other ones that are moving out here today. A weekly progress report. Cyber Mondays deals. I'm just trying to get through all this email. a few other stocks. Did we get to all those? I think I did. So I can probably get rid of those. Got to WDC. Got a question about IBB. Again, if these stocks are in a downtrend already, you're just about now getting to the point where these things, anytime there's a little weakness, you're going to find a lot of sellers. Is clean that up. You got a little bounce out here. You know, as far as I'm saying, 307, 308 on the IBB could be where this thing starts moving up. But again, you're probably looking at maybe 320. Maybe 322, 325 by the end of the year. So there's probably not a lot going on in the IBB for you. I'm looking for some stocks that have some other issues. What you might find are the stocks that are most heavily shorted, like Tesla. The longer these things go sideways, the better off you are with Tesla. And if you're thinking you're going to do 1 or 2 day trade, I'm not talking about falling in love with the Tesla car company, but just looking for a good spike out here for a day or two trade. The longer this thing goes sideways into the end of the year, the better it looks. My guess is this may be a play for a long call play for options expiration coming up. What is it, the 15th or the 18th? Of December. So you might want to keep an eye on that. That may be one that's got so many shorts going into the end of the year that you might see a few of these folks blink. So that'll be on my list between now and options expiration. After that, probably not going to be putting on too many new positions. Other stocks that might be able to get a squeeze going on that probably don't deserve it are First Solar. Again, this one's been going sideways, spiked up this morning, back to this trading range. Now, of course, the thing you always have to look at these highs is the fact that there isn't a lot of buying. Actually, a lot of people are more than willing to sell this thing. Come the first of the year, this will be on my list to check on the naughty list and see whether this thing is going right back down to $50. We'll keep an eye on it. How many apparent key people resigned from Tesla lately? Does that mean anything for you? No. A lot of those folks came in from Solar City, and I think that they knew that, you know, what they wanted to do is transfer those people from Solar City to Tesla and then get rid of them as they are in Tesla, and therefore not cause a lot of attention to the tar baby they bought in Solar City, and that continues to be kind of what I see in there. There's a handful of people in Tesla, but the people that have been there long term, good people, are staying. It's those people that they dragged in from Solar City that are now getting the boot, and I don't know if they resigned.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And got a question in the den, and he's talking about Samsung's graphene battery announcement. If you didn't see this over the Thanksgiving week, Samsung says that they've got a battery that will charge 45% faster and make you stand just a little taller, make you look just a little better. These press releases come out all the time. Now, probably not total vaporware, but you see these things all the time, and the question isn't whether they can build something, it's whether they can build something in volume and not have it catch fire like the Samsung 7, or they can build something and actually get the price right. I'm going to read a quote, though, from the head of Samsung's. They've got a thing that's kind of like MIT over there in South Korea that is kind of an adjunct to Samsung. It's kind of a educational thing. I think they call it something like IDT or something like that. SAIT maybe. But I do have this quote from the head of that. The technology readiness level is at the proof of concept demonstrator stage. We often read about remarkable graphene-based results at these stages, but only a few translate into commercial success stories, he said. Now, this is the guy that runs the show there. So can you put out a press release that sounds really good? Yes. Can you develop the product, and will it be available? If someone says that they're going to have a product ready in 3 years, that's a step up from someone saying that we've built one. And the question is whether or not you can commercialize it, you can build it with a good yield. There's a lot of steps to go. But you know what? I read the head of the MIT part of Samsung saying this is at a proof of concept demonstrator stage. I smell bovines in the field at the moment, and not a lot of actual products rolling off the shelves. Now, it is kind of interesting the way that they did this and the way they said it. There's a thing called buckyballs that have been around forever. And if you can just think being able to use atoms and build up kind of a soccer ball, kind of chicken wire looking ball out of a handful of atoms. That's kind of what they did with graphene. And this has been talked about for a while too as a way of enhancing power. The question is at just what kind of level can you make this? As we talked about in the history today, where you're actually turning bismuth into gold. Given enough money, you can do anything. I can remember a friend of my dad who flew a F-4 in the Vietnam War was fond of saying, the plane was a good demonstration that you could make anything fly if you put a big enough engine on it. And whether or not that's a great idea or not, another issue, right? So we'll keep an eye on this stuff. But if you read This is Proof Concept, you kind of want to think 5-10 years down the line. So, yeah, you smell that whiff. You know what I'm talking about. It's somewhere between that and 5 and 10 years, which is a lifetime everywhere else. Anyway, we're flat on the S&P cash. We don't, we're up 30 points on the Dow, and the Nasdaq's off 8. Again, going to probably be a lot of holding our breaths until we hear a little bit more from the Senate on whether or not they can get anything done. But we'll keep an eye on it. Wanted to see if there was anything else. I have a request to take a look at the TLT. This one got back up to kind of minor resistance and has done nothing but go sideways. The September 25th to actually, what is this? The September 12th through the 25th. Had a little ledge on it in the TLT. We're back up to that. And that's where at least minor resistance fails. I would still suspect that if this is going higher and going to fail or break out, you're probably going to see that at 128.50. So I would not be surprised to see this thing drift up kind of in the end of the year. If it does so on light volume, this is where this thing could actually fall off on the other right-hand shoulder of the TLT. But you'd probably want to look at 128.50, kind of looking in that area. The energy is fairly good off this low so far. The sideways action out here is a little suspect. My guess is we're probably going to see a little bit more movement out of that one tomorrow. As I said, anything that's not an equity, probably going to start seeing some more movement, as we saw in the GLD today. Of course, going into Friday, we saw a lot of people piling into crude as the place to park your money for the end of the world. Kind of interesting to see it off today and everybody going right into gold, up $7. But again, nothing out here that really makes me think this thing is broken out of its triangle. My thought would be that whatever break, the first break is probably the one you want to fade. You don't have a lot out here, but I've been thinking if this could get back into the 118s for a day or two in the GLD, that this may be one of the better places for the risk reward. Not saying that it will, but I kind of think that this thing either needs to break out higher and then fail, and then we're probably headed lower, or in my opinion, the better risk reward would be if this thing dipped back down for a few days, washed everybody out. Everybody literally hates gold, loves Bitcoin, and the opportunity probably for a few years might be setting up in gold. So I'm going to sit on my hands a little bit longer on those trades. As always, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. We'll look at a few other things out here. If you have any questions, two broader questions, but I think we've talked about some other things. Okay, we got an email, wants me to take a look at DDD. We've been talking about this thing maybe getting back down to the $6 level. Let's take a little bit longer. Got to 792, got your little bounce out here. light volume sideways the last 3 days. I don't think you can really make any kind of big push on this until you get back down to that $6 level. What I do like is that the energy off of 2370, the May 17th high, has not been all that exciting on the way back down compared to the January 20th of 2016 to April 14th high at 1976. And other than this one big, huge gap down, that's not been the energy. I still would like to see this thing around $6. So, you got a few minutes left. Give me a call at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com.
It's that time of year again. The TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale is back. Through this Sunday only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and up to 10% of whatever you spend will be donated to the Salvation Army in your name. This sale only comes around once a year and is one of the most rewarding promotions we have. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to any TFNN product or service. Whether you're considering signing up for any newsletter or workshop in the future, or you're already a subscriber, Tiger Dollars offer an immediate savings on any TFNN newsletter, webinar, workshop, or Master Trader series. And they never expire and are fully transferable to friends and family. For all the details and to take part in this special promotion, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this sale ends Sunday, December 3rd. And happy holidays from TFNN. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we're back. We'll keep a few of them out here. ROKU in the CIA had its pullback, kind of pulling out here again. Right now we're in a bubble, so can this be one of the stocks that races to 100 just like GoPro did and then give it all up? I think this is a company that's slightly better than GoPro, but still has some of the same issues around it that I would be worried about. But in the short term, we'll say between now and the end of the year, it may be very hard to get a lot of people to pound on this. But, GoPro went from, $20 to $100 on shorting, I think 109 before it rolled back under and the reality came back. It was kind of the big overblown stock of its year. It's very tough for me to see how this business does not get balkanized. That's B-A-L-K, Balkan, like the Balkans, balkanized over the coming years. But could in the short term have a couple decent earnings? I think you can. The question is this the next Netflix? Man, I'm thinking that from what I investigated over the holidays, not as bad as GoPro, not as good as Netflix. So it may be one of these things that could get a lot of people, especially in the end of the year, and an enormous short interest on this. So any kind of pullbacks, if you're looking for day trading vehicles for the day, you certainly want to keep an eye on this, especially if it gaps down lower in the morning, all the volume drops up, you start to see shorts covering. This could have some real big rocket action as we go into the end of the year. I don't know what you're going to do later today. Whether you're going to turn on some water and wash your hands, flip on the light switch, but I think you're going to think about buying some Tiger dollars. The best way to make some money going into Christmas. And so when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. It's that time of year again. The TFNN Salvation Army Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale is back. Through this Sunday only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and up to 10% of whatever you spend will be donated to the Salvation Army in your name. This sale only comes around once a year and is one of the most rewarding promotions we have. Tiger Dollars are a great way to add extra savings to any TFNN product or service. Whether you're considering signing up for any newsletter or workshop in the future, or you're already a subscriber, Tiger Dollars offer an immediate savings on any TFNN newsletter, webinar, workshop, or Master Trader series. And they never expire and are fully transferable to friends and family. For all the details and to take part in this special promotion, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this sale ends Sunday, December 3rd. And happy holidays from TFNN.